So this is the second time we're doing long division, so I'm going to try to be as organized as possible, and I'm going to start by writing down the negative 4x cubed plus the 7x minus the 1, all divided by the 2x minus 1. So keep in mind that the 2x minus 1 is technically the denominator or the divisor, so it goes on the outside of the division, and the 4x cubed, well, rather the negative 4x cubed plus 7x plus 1 is actually the dividend, so it goes inside the division sign. And notice I left a massive gap between the 4x cubed and the 7x. That's because I would like to put a 0x squared in there. Why am I putting the 0x squared? Well, it's because I don't really know if later on the problem is going to require some x squareds, and I don't want to accidentally stick them under the 7x and add them mistakenly there. So that's why I'm putting the 0x squared in the mix. So at this point, we're going to look at the 2x and we're going to look at the 4x cubed and identify what to multiply the 2x by to make it at the end match with the negative 4x cubed. Turns out that what we need is negative 2 and x squared. So now we multiply the 2x squared with the 2x and minus 1. So negative 2x squared times 2x will be at the end negative 4x cubed. Negative 2x squared with negative 1 will be positive 2x squareds. Notice how it's lining up under the x squared that I put in the problem, not under the 7x. So that's kind of a good thing. I don't want it to line up with the 7x and add it incorrectly there. Now keep in mind that once you do this, you're going to get your eraser out and erase the minus 4x cubed and put in its place a positive, and then the plus 2x squared, erase it and put a minus as well, and combine like terms. If you're doing things right, the first two should always cancel out, and we just get negative 2x squared, and then we bring everything else down. The 7x comes down and the 1 comes down. And that finishes one iteration of the process. So now we're going to begin again a second iteration. So how can I make the 2x match with the negative 2x squared? What do you multiply 2x by to make it negative 2x squared at the end? The answer is a negative and also an x. And let's go ahead and grab the negative x and multiply it over with the divisor. So this gives us negative 2x squared like we wanted, and then positive 1x. Again, get the eraser out, take out the negative, put a plus, take out the plus, and put a minus. Combine like terms, and let's see what we get. If you're doing this right, the first two should always cancel out. 7x minus 1x will be 6x. And then we bring the 1 down. And then finally, again, one more time, one iteration, we're going to figure out what to multiply the 2x by to make it at the end 6x. So what do you multiply 2x by to make it 6x at the end? The answer is a 3. So we'll put the 3 up here and start the product. So 3 times the 2x will be at the end 6x. 3 times the 1 will be negative 3. Erasers out, we take out the minus, we put a plus, then we take out the minus and we put a plus again. And so here we go, add up like terms, and we end up with the 2. So the 2 is the solution, it's the remainder. So that means we're basically finished. So here we go, negative 4x cubed plus 7x minus 1, when it is divided by 2x minus 1, will give the following result. Divisor, negative 2x squared minus x plus 3, plus a remainder of 2 when being divided by 2x minus 1. So where did that 2 come from? It came from the remainder over here. So it just gets copied over, and that's basically the end. This is the next part in the process, so let's take a look. Maybe a good idea would be for you to pause the video right now and see if you can do this one on your own, then check the answer in a few seconds. So again, with this one, I'm going to notice that there's a gap between the x squared and the 4. There's a x missing, so I'm going to put 0x just to keep things kind of organized, and then the plus 4 on the outside, and then all divided by x plus 4 over here. So this way things stay organized as much as possible. Okay, so what do I need for the quotient? The first quotient needs negative 2x squared. So let's go ahead and multiply negative 2x squared with the x to get negative 2x cubed, and now they match, which is what I wanted. Then negative 2x squared with the 4 gives me negative 8x squared. Get my eraser out, switch up the minus to a plus, switch up the other minus to a plus, and combine like terms. When I do that, I get 2x squared, and everything else cancels out. I'm going to bring the leftovers down. So I'm going to bring the 0x down, and the 4 also. Then repeat. How can I make the x become 2x squared? I do multiply it by 2x. So now 2x times 4, 2x times x. So what do I get when I do that? I end up with 2x squared and then 8x. Keep in mind, I gotta switch the signs. So the positive 2x squared becomes negative, the positive 8x becomes negative, and combine like terms at this point. Again, as usual, these two should cancel out, and we just get the negative 8x, and we bring the 4 down. At this point, I want my x to become negative 8x, so I multiply it by negative 8. And again, negative 8 times x will be negative 8x. Negative 8 times the 4 will be negative 32. Before you jump the gun, make sure you swap the signs. So this one is negative, it becomes positive. Again, the negative one becomes positive, and we can now combine like terms. So when you combine them, the answer will be 36 because the 8x cancels out the negative 8x. So what's my solution? So I'm going to write down that when I divide negative 2x cubed minus 6x squared plus 4 by x plus 4, the result is going to be a quotient of negative 2x squared plus 2x minus 8 with a remainder, and the remainder in this case is 36, all divided by x plus 4, the old denominator. And that's it.